Hi everyone, Marches here. Welcome to the channel. And today I'll be comparing one of my favorite sneakers from 2020 to its new brother, which just came out. So let's compare which one is better. Let's go. Guys, before we start with the comparison, if you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do so, and of course like this video. Surely it will help a lot in this channel. Thank you in advance. And for today's comparison, on my right side is the KD13, one of my favorite sneakers from 2020. And this on the left is the big brother, which is the KD14. I just got them a couple of days ago. So let's see what are the differences. Let's start first with the upper, of course. On the KD13, it has this ripstop upper, which is kind of nice. I like it in terms of support and durability. It is a very durable upper. At the same time, it doesn't stretch that much. So it gives you nice support laterally and cages your foot nicely. While on the KD14, it has the screen mesh upper. And also what's nice about it is it doesn't stretch that much. And it has two layers. One is like a felt material. The screen mesh is like a felt material on top, and underlying material is more of the ordinary mesh. The main difference between the two uppers is, of course, if you want it to be more comfortable around your foot, the KD14's screen mesh will give you that because it is a lot softer and it's not that fused. If you can hear that, there's no fusing. While on the KD13's, you can hear that plastic ripstop, but in terms of support and durability, I would say they're pretty much equal. But I like the KD13's extra material on top of the toe box for extra durability. And of course, this fused material on the tip of the toes. While it is absent on the KD14's, but it has a thicker underlining material on the edges of the toe area. But in terms of comfort, the KD14's upper will be a little bit more comfortable, and it took me less break-in time on the KD14's upper. And moving on to the mid-foot part of the sneaker, both have traditional lacing system, but there's an extra on the KD14's, which is the strap, which I think doesn't do anything in terms of performance. Maybe a little, but it's more for aesthetics. One thing that I noticed is the difference of the quality of the laces. I like the laces better on the KD14's. It has a more premium feel compared to the KD13's laces, but nothing against the laces of the KD13's. In terms of performance, both laces doesn't loosen up. So I think they're pretty much equal, but just the quality I like better on the KD14's. The tongues of the two sneakers are quite different. The KD14's has a more traditional tongue, which is a foam back mesh, while on the KD13's, it has this solid foam as a tongue. And in terms of feel, it's more comfortable on the KD14's. And I like it better because I know some people who owns the KD13 had ripping problem on the edges of the tongue of the KD13 since it has a deconstructed look to it. So when they are pulling the tongue, it rips on the edges. So in terms of durability, I would say the tongue of the KD14's durability is better compared to the KD13's. And moving on to the heel part of the sneaker, the KD13's has a more flat mid-cut shape, while on the KD14's, it has a more contoured. And what I like about the KD14's improvement is this cut or shape around the heel. So it gives you more freedom of movement around your heel or ankle compared to the KD13's, which really wraps your heel. But what I like in the KD13's better is the heel containment because it wraps more around your ankle compared to the 14's. And the 14's heel kind of reminds me of the KD12. It has a similar opening on the KD12's. It opens wider on the KD12 and the KD14's compared to the KD13. So I guess KD likes better the heel part of the 12s, and he brought it back to the KD14's. But don't get me wrong on that, the heel containment is still good on the KD14's, but I like how the wrapping of the KD13's more compared to the KD14's, but I like this cut on the KD14's. Both have internal heel cup, but on the KD13's, the cushion goes up more and really cages your heel more compared to the 14's, which the cushion on the heel doesn't go up as much as the ones on the KD13's. Speaking of cushion, the KD13 has a full-length zoom straddle plus an extra zoom unit in the forefoot with a carrying Phylon cushion, while on the KD14, it has a full-length zoom straddle without the extra zoom unit in the forefoot, but the carrying cushion is made out of Cushlon, and that's where the main difference between the two cushions are. The KD14 has a more plush feel from the forefoot to the heel compared to the KD13s, where you feel more on the bouncy side, while on the KD14, it gives you the right combination of bounciness with impact protection in the forefoot and especially on the heel. You will really feel the difference on the impact protection on the heel of the KD14s compared to the KD13s. It compresses more compared to the Phylon of the KD13s. As for the thickness of the cushion, I felt that the KD14 is more closer to the ground by just a tad bit compared to the KD13s. So if you want more court feel, KD14 is for you, but if you don't mind that, but both sneaker is still very responsive, but you feel closer to the ground on the KD14s. Now let's move on to the traction of the two sneakers. On the KD13, it features this circular traction with some oblong on some side, on the forefoot side, which on the KD14 got some of the traction on the 13s, on just around the forefoot, but on the other part of the traction of the 14s, it's just multi-directional. Rubber compound are both hard, but I felt like on the KD13s a little bit harder compared to the 14s. But in terms of grip, I felt that the KD14s bites harder compared to the KD13s. I think one of the main reasons there is because of the traction pattern has more flex. So if you have more give on the rubber material, it will grip more on the floor compared to a harder material. But on the KD13s, if you watch my performance review on it, I love the traction on the KD13s. So the KD14s is a notch better in terms of traction with the KD13s. So you will never go wrong with the traction of these two sneakers. As for squeakiness, the KD14 squeaks a little bit harder compared to the KD13s. As for dust pickup, you won't have any problems on dust pickup on both sneakers. Both sneakers have stability plate in them. And let's see the width of the forefoot. There you go. You will see that the KD14 is a little bit wider in the forefoot compared to the KD13s. While on the heel, it's pretty much the same. So I think stability is better on the 14s compared to the 13s since it has a wider forefoot base, plus it's a little bit closer to the ground. As for the weight of these two sneakers, the KD13 weighs 430 grams, while the KD14 weighs 440, so just a minimal increase of weight on the KD14. And mainly I think the reason why is because of the strap, but they're pretty much the same in terms of weight. As for sizing, both have the same sizing. True to size, if you are a regular footer and wide footer, go half a size up. And in terms of width or snugness around the forefoot, I feel that the KD14 is a little bit wider, or there's more space around the forefoot to the midfoot compared to the KD13. So I think this one will be more wide foot friendly compared to the 13s, which is more on the narrower side. As for the price, they're pretty much the same in terms of price. 7,500 for these two sneakers, but of course the KD13s is currently on sale right now. So if you're more on a budget, the KD13 is still a good sneaker, a very good performing sneaker. But if you want to try something new and if you have more budget, plus if you want the upgrades on the KD14s, closer to the ground, more impact protection, a wider base, go get the KD14s. So I hope I help you guys out in choosing between the 13s and the 14s from the KD line. Let me know which one you like better. And speaking of liking, aesthetic wise, I like the KD13s look better compared to the 14s as of now. But let's wait and see if they release some more dope colorway of the 14, if it will change my mind. So this has been Marches once again. Thank you for dropping by. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!